welcome everybody. This is Wednesday, Wisdom, Women, all of the W's coming on today. I'm really excited for our session today. There's Elise, hey. So I'm going to bring her right in. We're here, the tech is on today. I'm gonna do that, let's see. Wednesday, Wisdom, Women. Let's see if this works for us today. Hopefully. We're really excited today. I think she's coming on. Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
Hi, Elise. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for our chat today. I
I
was really just
too.
so looking forward to it. I was just kind of introducing this little segment that we're doing today. So Wednesday
Yeah,
Wisdom is now the Wednesday Women series. I've had some
love
amazing
it.
guests on, and today is like absolutely one of the most amazing. They've all been amazing. And human design and astrology is just something that has been so fun to explore and really eye-opening in so many ways. But I've been bringing on healers and coaches and entrepreneurs and things like that because I feel like we are some of these people that are very in touch with like who were our role models, who were the people
Yes.
that sort of, inspired us to maybe do these less typical type of venues of work that we do. So I've been so thrilled to have everybody share just a little bit of their life on here today. And I know you're going to give us a couple of treats and maybe a little bit of fun ways for us to tap into our own inner power.
Yeah.
But before we kick off, why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, great. So first of all, thank you so much for doing this. The Instagram seems to be just such an incredible place of such creativity and being able to share authenticity. And I really
Mhm.
appreciate you doing this and putting this all together. And it's such a fantastic idea. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Elise Revere, and I'm a human design practitioner as well as an astrology practitioner. And human design for me was that practice that it hit me like an absolute lightning bolt. Like it was like, this makes complete sense. Everything just makes sense now. It's the lens through which I see the world, and it's helped me in I guess understanding people, through work, through friendships, through love, whatever it is, it's really been the thing that has helped me, and I fell completely in love with it, and now, I get to work doing this work, and I get
Mhm.
to offer this service to people, and I feel incredibly blessed to be able to do that. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I love how you said that lens because that's so true. I feel like we are humans that come on this earth and we're just sort of given a few lessons in life, a few role models that come across, but not really a framework of how to understand all the energies and the universe and the stuff that's and other people and their own paths that are going on. And I personally had a reading with you. Was that like 2 years ago? Gosh, it
Yeah,
feels like
it's a while
it's
ago.
been I have to look back on or get another
Yeah,
one soon, of course.
yeah.
But human design is something that I just learned about recently. We share a mentor, teacher Dana, and
Yes.
we've done yoga classes together, and I feel like it's just another beautiful layer of learning more about ourselves
Yeah.
and the potentiality of where we could go, how we work best. Like a lot of things you shared with me are like, why was I hitting my head against this wall trying to
Yeah.
fit into this other shape that
That's
I'm not?
exactly right. And that's what is so, I guess, empowering about the entire practice, right?
Mhm.
It's this tool for self-awareness.
Yeah.
And, it's so funny because we were talking about, like a little 2-minute little piece about, whatever I offer. And I think this is perfect if you don't mind me
Yeah.
sharing. But, I love to start my day by looking at Instagram. Like it's really funny.
Mhm.
Everyone's like, don't do that. It's the worst thing in the world. But, I feel really blessed that I feel like I've curated my feed in such a way, and I've been
Oh.
discerning enough to curate my feed where it's just the most incredible, inspirational people, like people that are, positive and grateful and doing all the beautiful, good stuff in life.
Mm-hmm.
And my human design teacher actually shared this piece, this past week, and it was from this handle, Words Are Vibrations. And it was, people are starving for authenticity, for something real. Nobody else can replicate your energy. And that for me was just so profound
Mm-hmm.
because, it is what's different in us that makes us beautiful. It is the parts of us that we haven't
Mm-hmm.
owned, that we think, and the world has told us that there's something wrong with that part of us, like you're too much, you're too emotional, you're too this, too that, and human design is this way of really owning yourself. Just like there are
Mm-hmm.
other practices, right? Your yoga practice, your breathwork practice, it's coming back to yourself and it's owning these parts of yourself that everybody else seems to say, it's too, because we live in a society that, being unique is rebellious, or, it's not the way. We have to homogenize, we have to all be
Mm-hmm.
the same. And, human design is the antithesis of that. And I think that that's,
Yeah.
it's like,
Radical rebellion, like I am
right.
me.
And what could be more radical than being completely yourself? Like,
Mm.
way to break the box, you know?
And I feel like it's so beautiful. It kind of, doing that session with you and learning more. Hey, Paula. And
Paula!
learning to like dig in a little bit into my parenting. And then I was like, oh my gosh, my son is a projector. Like I've been
Right.
totally doing the wrong approaches with him, and it has changed our relationship, like learning a little more about how to inspire him and how to
Yeah.
show love to him, and so many. I was like, because I'm a generator
Yes.
and I'm like, "Brr, brr, 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 brr,
Yes.
let's go, here we go, what do you mean, make a list, let's go."
Right.
And
Right.
he's
Right.
just like, oh no way, like he's such a different soul.
Right.
So that permission has been life changing. Like I hate saying that about everything. It's
Right.
amazing, it's amazing, it's
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah,
And it's just such
it's really
a
cool.
little tweak. And it's, what's so funny about human design is like, it's nothing you don't know. Like this,
Right.
this exists in you. It's just a matter of like,
Mm,
there's like a little golden thread there. And I'm just like pulling it a little bit,
yeah.
because it's like, that this energy exists in here. It's wisdom that you have within your body. It's just
Yeah.
conditioning around us. The people around us have told us differently. And
Mm,
it's like, okay, human design just allows everything to be silent so that you can come back to your body and you can allow your body to make the decisions,
mm,
and
mhm,
it's in there,
mhm.
and it's funny because I have a projector daughter too, and I do, I do, my beautiful projector
Yeah.
daughter, and projectors are here to do a big job. Like they are here to lead and guide the energy of generator types,
Hmm.
and they have a huge job. And it's funny because I rely on my 8-year-old daughter sometimes to guide our energy, who's tired,
Totally.
who's not, you know, am I feel, what are you sensing about the energy in the household? Do you know what I
Oh my
mean?
God.
And she doesn't know I'm doing that, but I'm asking her because her body is like the radar for the energy in the entire household. So it's like, okay, how are you feeling? Because you'll be able to tell me what the energy is really like, because my energy is consistent and I won't be able to tap into that the same way you will. So
I'm sensing like this whole new session I need to come to you for, like my parenting, our parenting human design, like compatibility
it is
methods.
huge.
It's,
And it's honestly, it's one of my favorite ways to work is with parents and children, because I've seen
yeah.
the incredible benefit of working with parents and kids. Like it is eye-opening. Like it's like, oh my God, my kid is wired this
Mm,
way. Like like this is, and it's perfect.
yeah.
It's perfect. The way that they're wired is perfect. And it's these like tiny little tweaks, and then it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
My Manny Gen kid, I'm like, let's run, buddy. Let's go to the field. Let's just run it all out.
They need
You
it.
drain the battery before, before we go to bed. And if he's jumping on the bed right before bed, that's perfect too, because he's
Hmm.
draining out that last bit of energy before he rests.
Yeah.
So it's just these tiny little tweaks that, are just fascinating with families.
I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is our little unit. We're here to learn, and I just think that's so exciting. It's such cool stuff. But
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
great segue into I'm going to like pass it to
Mhm.
you. Like what is a beautiful way? I know Wednesday we usually like over the years when I've done this, we do some kind of centering. It's our middle of our week. It's, for us to be present and maybe really absorb all that we're going to share in our discussion.
Yeah.
How would you like to guide us today?
Let's see. I taught a yoga class at Dana's
Hmm.
studio last Friday. I was subbing for Vicky. And yeah, so I want us to just kind of like close our
Okay.
eyes and we place our hands on our bellies and maybe we'll talk through this.
Okay.
So taking a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, placing the hands on their belly and just starting to really feel the belly expand and contract with every inhale and exhale that you take. On every inhale, can you feel the belly expand? On every exhale, can you feel it empty and contract? And as you're doing this movement, being conscious of the fact that this is our center of knowing, of owning ourselves, why would we not want to allow it to expand? So letting the belly be soft, letting it take up as much room as it needs to feel authentically you. And as you move through the rest of your day, allowing yourself to really tap into what it means to move like you. We're surrounded by voices that tell us how to move, how to eat, how to be. But what does it really mean to be you, to move like you? No one else in the entire world has the same set of injuries or experiences that you have. So, how can anybody possibly know what it is to be you? So, can you take that piece of wisdom and really own it and own yourself and allow it to allow you to move exactly the way that you want to move? Take one more deep breath in and out, making this sound audible, taking up space, making sound, allowing yourself to announce your presence. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes with a soft gaze.
Hmm. Thank you for that. That was so lovely. So
Yay.
beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
I don't know if it lost sound in the middle of it, but you came right back on. I don't know if I was just
Okay.
losing it or if the video, but we'll see it later. Okay, Elise, so let's dive right in.
Yeah.
Let's just ask the question. So, my first question I ask my guests is who were the women, the feminine role models in your life, either good or bad, that
Mhm.
really inspired you on your, I don't know, just who, not just like what we do for work or how, what kind of parents we are, but who you are.
Mhm. So, I would say my mother was the first one.
Mhm.
You know, my mother has this softness about her and this respect for beauty. You know, she was always arranging flowers or listening to music, and she always loved beautiful things, you know? So I think that was a huge influence for me. And then as I've, grown up and gotten a little older, and most of them, like my
Yeah.
coven girls, are
Yeah.
really like, they're the thing, It's these women have given me friendship as well as
Hmm.
community. And, I think the common thread amongst all of them is this commitment to growth,
Mm.
you know? And that's such a quality that I really, really respect is, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to do it wrong. Sometimes things are going to happen in our lives, but, being committed to growth and being open to listen to the people around you when they're trying to help you and love you,
Mm.
you know, that's the thing for me. And so, yeah, my coven girls, Pella, Dana, Sumaya, Jen, like those beautiful women. So
I
those are the ones
love
for
that. It's
sure.
such, I mean, right off the bat, I feel like, I mean, it takes years. I mean, I feel like, first of all, thank you for sharing all that because
Yeah,
the mother is like the number one that
yeah,
comes through,
yeah,
right? Like it's so the good, the bad, the hard, the complicated relationships, like it is impactful. And
yeah.
I just love to like give space for that. Because it's I don't know, it's tricky. I feel like some people are like, that is my rock, my stone, and some people are
Hmm.
like, that was my biggest
Yeah,
teacher, of understanding like who I was
right, right.
or learning compassion. She did the best she
Yes,
could, type of thing. And but no matter what, like there's always those core things like arranging flowers.
yes.
And
It's
so
such like
are you like that?
it's
Do you
you
feel
no
like your
no no I'm
ambiance?
terrible at that. I'm terrible at it.
No, but like
But I
the appreciation.
my mom will come over and I'll have put some flowers in a vase,
Yeah.
and she will come over and she will take them all out and painstakingly like snip the ends of them and rearrange them into just a beautiful new way. She's like, you need to give them space and life. And, she just has this like, artistic sensibility about her.
Yeah.
And she really brings that into everything in her life, like the way that she loves my kids, the way that she loves me. When she's cooking, like that's another thing. She's an incredible cook, and she brings this highly artistic, like creative, loving way to everything that she does. And, I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, like that is that's artistry in your life in motion,
Emotion,
it's
right.
not, like that's exactly what it is. It's like watching live art, so no, I'm terrible at flower arranging, but like watching her is my appreciation of this beauty and art that exists.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Well, right. I mean, seeing the pleasure she probably gets from
totally.
that.
Totally. And the
Yeah.
time and the patience,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. Or taking the time to sit, I'm here, we're both busy moms, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
rushing through life.
Yes.
And this incredible slowing down that happens
Mm.
when she's working on something. Like I'm like tossing the flowers in the vase and she's taking them back out and snipping the leaves and taking off the dead petals. And, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a reminder to enjoy life and slow down, and that's such a cliche, but
That's a great point. Well, I've been kind of collating a list of all these traits as people
yeah,
share with me, like slowing down is not always the standard. Like a lot of people are just like, that's just,
No.
and their design. What is your mom's human design?
She's a manifesting generator. She's the same type as me. So it's
Mm.
interesting. Well, we think because,
Yeah.
she was part of that. She was born in Korea, and
Mhm.
records were destroyed back then. So we were pretty sure that she's a manifesting generator, and there are traits.
Okay.
But she's owned, especially later in life, like this ability to really slow down and find the beauty in moments. So
Mhm.
yeah, which is just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That's a beautiful trait. I feel like, sometimes like culture and society has us being very be productive.
That's
You
right.
must do this and
That's
that.
right.
That's very much the antithesis of like how to live a good life. Like you can arrange the flowers when all your shit is done, like you are productive. And we need those role models to remind us like we're driving ourselves crazy.
I'm fried. Like I'm burnt out and fried. It's like, well, just sit and arrange some flowers.
I'm like, thanks, mom. I
Yeah,
forgot.
exactly. And there's I grew up, I don't know about you, but like when you're an athlete, when you're younger,
Hmm.
you're taught to like push. You're
Yeah.
taught to push your body, you're taught to push everything. And it has been like a lifetime of slowly unraveling that mentality
Yes.
and finding embodiment. Do you know what I mean? And being in your body and not overriding what your body is telling you. It's been a lifetime of it. And it's like, oh my gosh, here I am 42 years old. It's like, wow, I'm still learning these lessons of
Yeah.
unraveling everything that's been taught to me that was completely incorrect for my body,
Yeah.
you know? And that's why I feel so passionate about the work that I do, because if I can get people back to them, it's like if you can hear yourself through all of the noise, like that's the key,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
That's absolutely true. And I now that I'm putting it together also is like when you're talking about we have these role models that are sort of I don't know, fate puts us into life with our parents. That's who we have. But
yeah,
how we're at in our maybe I feel like something happens around late 30s, early 40s where we start
yes,
seeking out
yes,
role models
yes,
that
yes, yeah.
that that are in alignment with what we
That's
need to do. What do you think about that?
that is that has absolutely been my experience. When I found my group of girls, it was like I was craving that. Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like nothing else mattered. Like loved it, like romantic loved it, like nothing mattered except for that thing. Like, and I hold it sacred because you know, it was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for this my whole life. People that will see you deeply, that will hold you. You know,
Yeah.
we have breakfast. We haven't in a while, but we'll sit around the committed pig and we'll literally go around the table and it'll be like, okay, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have? And each of us will offer our own unique perspective. And because we love each other, we can take that in. How am I not seeing this situation properly? How can I do this better? you know and having that support system, like you feel like you can do anything.
Yeah.
you know I don't need anything else.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's like you keep all that stuff over there. Like I have incredible people in my life, and I do feel like it's taken me, well, it's taken me years to get there.
Hmm.
Years.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. We had a few other people that we were talking about like how to how to connect with those women. Like how did you do it?
Yeah,
Like what was some of the ways that you manifested that into your life?
I love that question because, I'll back up. This is a long-winded way of saying this, but I did an astrology salon a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, it was a beautiful group of women, like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I was in the middle of, hosting this salon, and it just really dawned on me that the people that were in this room were seeking out relationships like this, like
Mhm.
friendships like
Yeah.
this, and a space to do this. not everybody wants to go and drink wine at a bar
Mhm.
and, bitch about how terrible their lives are. Some people are interested in growth. Some people want a higher octave in life. They want a more enlightened presence in life. And for me, coming to like finding my yoga studio
Mhm.
has been the thing. And, Dana has created Yoga on Pine, which is like an incredible community space
Yes.
for people to come
Mhm.
and gather and like-minded people and like-minded women and a handful of men. There need to
Mhm.
be more in there, but, you
Yeah.
know, to come together and create community together. And that is so incredibly important because where do you do that?
Mhm.
And I think, my love for yoga has kind of driven me to that place. So, yeah,
Right.
that's how I found my group. And, even if you don't do yoga, it's, are there Reiki circles?
Mhm.
Are there things that you're hosting, right?
Or
Where,
sailing clubs. I
yeah,
mean, right? It could be
right, right.
whatever.
I
Yeah.
do think that following your interest and following that spark within you is the way that you draw people to you. We're generator types, right?
Yeah.
We're innately magnetic and we will pull people towards
Mhm.
us. We're lucky. Some of the other types, have to work a little bit differently, but we're like magnets. People, it's like the moths to the flame.
Yeah.
We will naturally draw people to us. We just have to be in the right place to do that. So when we're lit up and we're excited by what we're doing, which happens to me in yoga,
Yeah.
it's like people will find you, you
Right.
know,
Mhm.
and you just have to believe
That's a
that.
good point about like how human design can assist with that as well. Like really seeing how you
Absolutely.
can find your true and authentic friends
Mhm.
and village and circle of people that are going to be in the journey with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And it helps in all the areas, right? Who are my people? Who are really my people,
Hmm.
you know? And when I become more authentically myself, are the people that I thought would be around, like
Yeah.
will they stay there? Are those actually my people?
Right. Right.
It's like this long journey of self-discovery and it doesn't always take the turns that you think it's going to take,
Right. Yeah.
but um but it's well worth
Worth
it.
the journey. I
Yes.
believe it. It brought you and me together as
Oh,
along the way
I
too. So
love
that was it's, oh, I can trust that fully.
it.
Well then, so I guess like, and to wrap this up, the
Yeah.
thinking, I have some of the traits. I was like, what are the traits that we can see that positively empower other women, slowing down, finding
Mhm.
finding your people, finding your
Yes.
group that can help build you up and help you see yourself in perspective, human design.
Yeah.
Is there any last thoughts you have about like those
Yeah.
traits?
I think that I think finding the way that you are of the greatest service to the whole. And that's a phrase that Richard Rudd, who's the author of the Gene Keys, which is a system as well that kind of intertwines peripherally with human design. But he said, "How can you be of the greatest service to the whole?"
Mm.
And that for me was just like, that's the motto for me. You know what I mean? How can I serve? When I am engaged in meditation or prayer, it's like, how do you want me to serve? You
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
I think that is the way. Whether your calling is to be the best possible mother that you can possibly be, or, the girl boss, whatever that is, or anything in between, what is my specific service to the whole? And how can I be of the greatest service? I think that that's the question for me. That's the question, I implore everyone to ask themselves, what is my particular gift and how can I offer that? Because it's all about service,
Yeah.
right? And when you are serving the way that you're meant to serve, I do believe that the entire universe does collude with you.
Yeah.
It helps you. You know, it's like if I'm meant to, it's my conversation with God. It's like if I'm meant to do this work, show me the way.
Right.
It's like that. It's how can I help the most amount of people? How can I serve? You know? And then you don't worry about the money. You don't worry about the other stuff. I have a full-time job that can, bankroll me, but my service, my heart is dedicated to this practice.
Oh,
So,
well,
so
that's
yeah.
super empowering. And that's a great, I mean, that self-reflection, I think is so, I don't know, it's not natural. It took time
Yeah.
to learn that. And I think you're
Yeah,
right. I think that it can be much more simpler than we make it.
totally.
And if we find the right tools and the right support to kind of see
Yeah. And
that.
I really do believe that, things happen in life. Like that, let's just be honest.
Right.
I've gone through a divorce, life isn't easy, right?
Mhm.
But it's not hard, you know?
Yeah.
And when you're acting in service, when you're acting from your highest potential, I do believe that things become a lot more seamless.
Hmm.
You know, it just does. When you're like Data loves to say, when you're Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill,
Yeah.
something's not right. And if you're just pushing and pushing and pushing and it's not working out, something needs to shift.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Well, at the end of our session, I
Yeah.
always love, with all this energy, I pull a little card and kind
Oh,
of pull
love this.
this
Love
for us
this.
to sort of wrap
What
it, put a bow on
what
it
kind
at
of
the
deck
end.
are you pulling
I,
from?
well, since we have a full moon tomorrow, I got out my
I have that
Moonology.
deck. I love
It's
that one.
really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yasmin Boland. These were a gift. And so anyway, so I'm going to start shuffling these, and
Okay.
I would love if it pulls up full moon in Sagittarius. Of
I
course,
know.
that'd be the coolest thing ever, which is coming out tomorrow. But all right, so I just take a little breath, and I love to reflect a little bit on our time together.
Yeah.
And I do have so much gratitude, and thank you again for doing
Oh,
this. And
thank you so much.
I just kind of see what the universe wants to show us, and I'll just cut the deck right where it feels good. Okay. Ooh, this is kind of nice on our conversation. It's the last quarter moon in
Oh,
Capricorn.
I love that.
Leave the past
Oh, I
behind.
love that. I
Which
love that.
is a good point, I think, of a lot of the growth and who we think we are,
Yeah.
who we think our friends are, when maybe we have to be open our hearts and our minds to a different way. I don't know. What do you think about that card?
Yeah. And full moons are a time of illumination,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They bring light to things that might have been dark.
Mhm.
So there's like this illumination that happens. And, when there is growth isn't always easy. The path to awareness can be gnarly. It can be really gnarly. And things need to die and things need to fall away in order to make room for new growth.
Mm.
So I think that's actually a beautiful thing. Like, what things in your path do you need to cut out to make space for the expansion? You know?
Yeah, I think that that is really good. I think, the winter is behind us now. There's a
Yeah.
lot of growth happening, metaphorically and connected with the seasons. So I think that's a great question we could pose to
Yeah.
anybody watching this. Like, maybe that's a great reflection point. But I'll read, it's a quick little paragraph. I'll read this part.
Yeah.
Leave the past behind. Something is standing between what you want and how you can get
Mm.
it. That's okay. Now you know it's there. You can do something about it. You just need to be strategic. It's wonderful to go for things with a childlike, carefree attitude, but drawing this card suggests that you may need a proper plan as well. Leave the past behind. You may need to move through and clear a criticism someone has made of you, which has somehow turned itself into your brain. You have work to do. That's it. The only way out is through.
Yes.
Well,
I love that. The only way out is through. That's 100% right. You
yes.
know, and I think that we want to, like, there's like the spiritual bypassing that happens, like, oh, I can meditate my way through
Right.
this, or I can do all the good vibes in the world. And it's
Right.
like, awareness and growth and expansion. I think of like the lobster that's like
Mhm.
pushing against its shell. You know, there's like confinement around you, and bursting out of your shell can be really painful. And you do have to clear in order to move forward, you know? So
Continuously.
that,
And then he grows again.
that's right. That's right. And we're constantly evolving, right? That's what makes life so fun, is that there's chance after chance after chance to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you
this
so
was like a
much,
beautiful wrap
Rachel.
on this. Your stuff is so great. Oh, and then so please share. So are you do sessions for human design
Yeah,
and
yeah.
astrology? How can we find
So
you? And I'll put
so
that all in the captions too.
thank you. So, you know, I'm doing readings on Fridays late in the day and then Saturdays at Yoga on Pine in Morristown. It's, you know, Dana's studio. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. So that's where you can find me if you're curious about human design, or, you know, you've heard about it, you know, come check us out. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, I will link Yoga on Pine as
oh,
well.
thank
Love
you.
it. That's Dana's doing so many cool things and it's a
She
beautiful
really is.
studio. Yeah.
She really is in like the real stuff, you know, the real, real, real stuff, like heart-centered, like community focused, like it's gorgeous. So, yeah,
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
proud.
well, Elise, this was like such a treat.
Yeah,
I will put this out
I
as well. I'll do a little
love
tag
that.
in the stories with this little moon reflection. Happy full moon for
Yes, happy
everybody. And
you.
Elise, enjoy the your coven if they
Yeah,
do some more like time with your moon
yeah.
energy.
Paul is actually doing a full moon circle tonight,
Oh,
which is
great.
yeah,
That's so
yeah. Paula and
perfect.
Tracy at Yoga on Pine. It's gonna be
I'm
gorgeous. So,
I'm loving it. I'm gonna follow it. See what's.
yeah,
I know I usually will head to the Poconos for my little group that I
yeah.
love, but I miss Dana, so I'm gonna come see you guys
Yay,
soon for sure.
good. Yay. We'd love to see you.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you everybody
Thank
for
you.
tuning in. I'm gonna record this and it'll be tagged on both of our pages if
Good.
anyone would like to hear more. Thank you, Elise, so
Thank you
much.
so much, Rachel.
I
Thank you for
love
doing.
you. Okay,
Have
take care. Bye
a
bye.
great